Hi everyone, welcome to Still Values. So today we're going to talk about Tuscan Holdings Corp, going by ticker symbol THCB. This is a SPAC that's looking to merge with a company called Microvast, and as you can see by the before hours, people are pretty excited about this. It's up 54%, which is pretty incredible, but it kind of tells you the excitement around this company. As this article puts, it was apparently reportedly that they had finalized a definitive merger agreement, apparently leaked by Bloomberg, who said, they had close sources. But if we look at this presentation here, which is apparently leaked, I think this is a very, very confirmed merger. They've even dated this February. So it's pretty cool. We'll dive into the details of this merger. They're doing about a $3 billion valuation, merger valuation. So it's 2.1 for the pre-money. If you add the money in, that's 282 from the SPAC, 540 from the private investors, and it's about over 800 million plus the 2.1. It gives you around about that 3 billion mark. And if you look at the SPAC today, if you were to buy Tuscan Holdings, if you do not own any Tuscan Holdings and you want to buy some today, and you were to buy some at this $24.23, you would be giving this company about a 7.2 billion valuation. And how does 7.2 billion valuation compare? Well, QuantumScape is around about $15.9 billion. And they aren't producing anything. They're all based on the future tech. And you have Romeo Power, which is at 2.25 billion, which people kind of feel is very, very undervalued, particularly since this company has a projection of next year of doing about 400 million in revenue. So, if you do the math, maybe Romeo Power is also very undervalued, or maybe Microvast is in it or quite high in a value, but I think it comes in between, because maybe the tech isn't as good as what QuantumScape has come out with, but they're so much more developed that they've got products on the market. They've got 100 million in revenue for 2020, and they expect to go to $2.3 billion in 2025, so that's a lot of confidence. Their batteries operate in over 28,000 vehicles currently, and they've got about 1.5 billion in contracted revenue through to 2027. And operational distance covered is 3.8 billion miles, and they operate in 19 countries, 166 cities. They currently have 1,800 employees and 550 patents or patent applications. So you can kind of see this when you look at the stats are relatively nice. The fact that they've got 100 million revenue right now is really, speaks about a volume of how well this company has already built itself. It's relatively stable, and the revenue projection is quite nice for the future. If we do a comparison of say Romeo Power, they have that projection of 400 million for next year and eventually going to 1.6. So clearly Microvast has a lot more potential than Romeo Power does, hence why the valuation is significantly higher. If we also consider what they do, they're pretty well diversified in where they want to target. So currently they do batteries for trucks, buses, trains, in general large vehicles, and then they're looking at passenger vehicles, energy solutions, storage solutions, battery components. So in the future they're going to be very, very well rounded and diversified. And here's a bit of a history on the company. Started in 2016 in Houston. 2 years later, built a manufacturing plant in China. Established a service facility in 2014 in the UK. And 2 years later, in 2016, established in Germany. And then this year, basically, they're looking at building a battery production in Berlin, Germany. So yeah, you can kind of see like as time goes, this company is expanding relatively quickly. And as it says, proceeds to be used to fund a build out of international manufacturing facilities, as well as fulfilling a contracted demand from global customers. So in general, yeah, there's a lot to like about this company in terms of its stability, the demand for batteries in the future. As they put in a projection here, this is what they think the percentage of EVs will be in terms of sales throughout each different year. They think by 2040, 49% of all vehicles sold around the world will be like EVs. So it kind of gives you a good idea that EVs will be big, batteries will be big, and this company is possibly going to be one of the big companies to be at the center of this. As they put it, their target addressable market has about a 45 billion valuation, 22 billion for passenger vehicles, 20 billion for energy storage solutions, and 2 billion for consumer electronics. And there's a comparison in terms of their performance versus the standard EV out there. So in terms of battery, their batteries could do up to 370 miles from one charge. The standard battery would do about 300 miles. Their batteries can charge about at 22 miles per minute, whereas the standard one can charge about 6 miles per minute, which is 3 times quicker. Their batteries can do 3,000 life cycles before with at least an 80% retention, whereas the standard battery can do about 1,000 cycles at an 80% retention, so it's also 3 times the lifespan. Their batteries can do about 1 million miles throughout its lifetime in terms of mileage, which is around about 4 times the 270,000 that a standard battery can do throughout its lifetime. So yeah, like you're looking at this and you go, Microvast has a nice technological advantage. It's really well built out in terms of it's got a large addressable market. EVs are going to be large in the future and are going to be in huge demand. They've got a very nice history of building out this company, and they're building out a battery production in Germany this year. So this company is consistently growing. Yeah, and again, similar things. They've got those big target markets. They're targeting areas that a lot of companies may not be targeting in terms of like the large vehicle base. And the fact that they've got their batteries in over 28,000 vehicles around the world, it's already like it's already a strong proof of the products of this company. And yeah, going from 100 million to 2.3 billion dollars, so you got to be relatively impressed that they're actually at 100 million already for a battery company. And batteries are just gonna get more in demand in the future, so they're in a situation of a rising tide will lift all boats, and they're looking like they're going to be a really good company in general. And the thing is, you don't actually even have to be that good at what you do, just a lot better than the average, and you're going to do very, very well. Yeah, so I think overall I'm thoroughly impressed about this presentation. Let me know if this is a company that you like yourself as well. The before hour market kind of trading looks like it's a lot of people are relatively impressed. A lot of people want to buy the stock. The question is it worth about $7.2 billion? I think so. Like, I think I like this company quite a lot. I think there's potentially some more room to go if you're going to compare against QuantumScape, because I think this company is consistently developing. It's way ahead of the current listed battery companies. So yeah, I think why not? Can't this company be worth 10 billion? or even more. So I think I do see an upside, but like I don't think the upside is going to be substantially more. No, I think there's going to be some more upside, but at this $24.23, it's getting harder to justify where the upside could be. Like maybe it's around $30. It potentially the short term could see it go to $40, but again, that's just being very that's just guessing where it potentially could go. But I think at this valuation, you're probably in around about safe hands, because you're buying into a battery company that is very, very stable with a large potential to grow. Like they haven't really given us much to go on in terms of how they're going to jump from 100 million to $2.3 billion. But I think if you look at the Romeo Power presentation, then potentially it gives you an idea that, hey, if they've got a prediction to go to 1.6 billion by 2025, then potentially this company that's looking at going well over 2 billion, a lot more than what Romeo Power is doing, then potentially next year we could see them go 500 to 600 million, and then after that maybe 800 to 900 million, and then 1.5 billion potentially after that, and then well over 2 billion after that. So that's a rough estimate of where they might be, just based on like Romeo's predictions. So yeah, like I think it seems relatively impressive where this company could be in the future. As it's put, like if next year Microvast can do about 500 to 600 million in revenue, then it more than justifies the current price tag. And yeah, like I can definitely see that price tag going to about 10 billion. So yeah, I think it's definitely got that potential. And yeah, like let me know what your thoughts are. Like I'm still in that phase where I'm still probably digesting this presentation, the statistics, the data, but I thought I really wanted to make this video as well. So like I'm at that midpoint of where I'm still absorbing the data. I think, yeah, 10 billion feels like a very safe kind of valuation to aim towards, which would probably give this company another 50% upside on the $24, which I would see about at $32. So still around about that $30. I think you're relatively safe around $30 as a target for the current valuation, especially looking forward to next year where they could do about 600 million. So I think, yeah, it's a relatively good target to go towards. But yeah, like I think you could potentially just buy some and then hope that if it ever falls in price, you can always buy some later. Or if you believe in a long-term future of this company and you don't mind holding many years, then today is a good pricing, because of course, as long as this company performs, which they've proven so far, because this is a company with an actual product generating actual revenues, so it means that they can actually show you what they do. You can actually track the progress, the revenues, and you can judge it every quarter after that. So yeah, I think I definitely like this company. I like what it does. Out of all the battery companies out there that is listed, I think this is one of the nicer ones, with a much more stable base to value things on, rather than like QuantumScape, where it's all about the future and you don't know how good it's really going to be. Yeah, so until then, if you've got any questions or comments, just post below. Until then, good luck investing, and thanks for tuning in, everyone.